Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. So the new handicap marks came out today, and I've been through them, and I think I've found some that have definitely caught my eye in terms of their new marks, including horses that I think shouldn't have been dropped. Starting off with Ginny's Destiny, who has dropped £1 from 155 to 154 after pulling up at Cheltenham. Now, the thing with Ginny's Destiny is maybe the horse just needs that first run of the season. If we look back through the horse's form, second in a bumper, comfortably beaten by Outer Belly, then went to Chepstow and comfortably won. Fourth in a novice's hurdle at Aintree, comfortably beaten. It was in a maiden hurdle, beaten 12 lengths. Then went to Warwick and comfortably won. Beat Mexico by 8.5. Then went to the following season, Cheltenham. Finished seventh over 2.5 miles at Cheltenham on the old course. It's the same race as it then went and won the following time. It's the same race as it had just been in the Paddy Power Gold Cup. How can a horse not be winning off 135 that's now rated 154? Because it needed the run. It was comfortably beaten 29 lengths. Then went to Cheltenham in November and won by 10 lengths. So the horse has gone from losing by 5.5 to winning by 4.5. Losing by 12, winning by 8.5. Losing by 29, winning by 10. It's going to step forward massively next time out. And surely it comes back for the December Gold Cup. Iridoto's gone up £11, the horse, the other Paul Nicholls horse. So I imagine, that'll be harder to win off for sure. But Ginny's Destiny surely goes to the December Gold Cup off the back of that run and can bounce back. And they can literally go, well, it didn't quite work that day. He clearly needed the run. He bounced back and he's off £1 lower mark. Really, really strong for this horse for the December Gold Cup on the 14th of December. Second horse I want to talk about, Chan Bleu. Chan Bleu has dropped £1 to 141 after finishing 4th at Bangor. Now, I highlighted this one before as well. Travelled into it quite nicely, to be fair. Came there looking like he was going to play a big part, despite being very weak in the market. And I think that's key. The weakness in the market suggests to me that he was not fit or not ready to really run his big race of the year sort of thing. He hadn't run for 270 days. Again, if we look back through his form on his first comeback, first runs back, maybe they've not been as good recently. 6th in a Ryanair, off after 138 days off the track. Pulled up at Wetherby after 261 days. Pulled up at Cheltenham after 327 days. 270 days off the track. He ran okay for 4th. That's not a terrible run for him at all. Dropped £1. Where do you go with him? I think it's quite obvious. You got to Ascot for this. Howden Silver Cup over 3 mile. He's nicely handicapped, and he's been to Ascot a couple of times before. He finished 3rd over 2 mile 2, which was too short for him. That came off a mark of 142. He then finished 3rd again in the Swinley Handicap Chase, off a mark of 143. So he's £2 lower. And when he got beat here, he was only beaten 1.5 lengths. Those £2 probably would have swung it into his favour. And yeah, I think he's performed a very satisfactory return when finishing 4th at Bangor. Fully expect to see him in the Howden Silver Cup, and I would make him one of the big fancies for that race. If Paul Nicholls doesn't agree with me with Ginny's Destiny, this is the one that could take advantage. That's Fugitive, who's dropped £2 for finishing 5th in the Paddy Power Gold Cup Handicap Chaser at Cheltenham. I don't think he was given that strong a ride by Sean Bowen. I think he was looked after. He was weighted out the back and ran on almost when the race was over. Went 4th 2 out. And then just got tired late on. He was never really put in the race. He's dropped £2 for that to 150, which actually means he is £1 higher than when winning the December Gold Cup last year. I feel that this is the race they targeted. They weren't that interested in the Paddy Power. They got beaten it last year. finished 4th, beaten 16 lengths. Finishes 5th this time, beaten 13 lengths. Similar performance. Back onto the new course. I think he will show that he really likes the new course and bounce back to his best sort of thing. He's been to the new course a few times. He finished 2nd at Il Ridotto. He finished 2nd at the festival in the Magnus Plate. He's won. He finished 3rd over a trip too short in the Clement's House. And his only disappointing run was when he was pulled up in the Ryanair. You forget that. If you take out those graded races, his form over 2.5 on the new course reads 2nd off 143, 2nd off 149, 1st off 151. They're the new course. And that's what he'll be running off. That's what he'll be running over in December. So Fugitive would be the one that would take advantage if Ginny's Destiny doesn't run. If they both run, they'll probably be my 2 in the race. Moving on, West Balboa, another one we've already mentioned, but I thought this was mental. That horse has been dropped £4 down to 139. Don't know what the handicap is doing there. We can see the horse is a 3-miler. 3rd at over 3 mile at Aintree, beaten by Gwenny Mayboy and Lord Snooty. Has previously won at Aintree over 3 mile and half a furlong. Back here, where is it? Back here, 3 mile hurdle race. Has also won a Lanzarote hurdle over 2 mile 5 at Kempton. Does not want 2 mile. Ran over 2 mile, couldn't keep up. Nothing wrong with that. Dropped £4 a handicapper. That's silly. That's just given the horse a massive chance wherever it goes. I hope Dan Skelton runs her in another race that she can't win. She just drops another couple of pounds. Because then they could try and target a nice feature race double. They could certainly come to Kempton for the Coral Trophy. Now, I know they have Phlegmatic in this, but they also could have West Balboa, who would look quite nicely handicapped. If she turned up of around the 139, 138, 137 mark. Got to remember she's won a Lanzarote hurdle off 130 and has also won a feature handicap at Aintree off 135 over hurdles. So she could come to Kempton for the Lanzarote hurdle. Sorry, for the Coral Trophy. And I think she'd run a really big race, and it's great prize money, 85 grand to win that. And if that does or doesn't work, you then end up at Aintree in the 3 mile handicap. Another race this one's worth 56 grand. You don't bother with Cheltenham. She's not a Cheltenham horse. Go to Aintree, go to Kempton, maybe Ascot at the end of the season if needed, but I kind of feel that you just want to give the horse one more run over fences, get a bit more experience over fences, and then target the feature handicaps where I think she could end up looking very nicely handicapped. So yeah, that would be my plan with West Balboa. I wouldn't be that interested in her next time in just a novice race, but as soon as she goes handicapping, particularly when she steps up to 3 mile, I will be very keen on West Balboa. And finally, over hurdles, What's Up With You? I think ran in a really strong conditional jockey's handicap when finishing 9th, beaten by horses that were looking for 6-timers. American Sniper had won last time out. Tune in a Box had ran one disappointing run. Ilve de Soie had won the last couple. It was a really good race, and What's Up With You was sent off 5-1 third favourite. 5-1 third favourite. They really liked What's Up With You. It didn't work, but to be fair, we've got a 9th here. If we look back through the form, we've also got another 9th here. The last time it ran at Cheltenham, it was also rubbish. It went Kempton, Cheltenham, disappointed. This time it went Fontwell, Cheltenham, disappointed at Cheltenham. Maybe Cheltenham's just not the course for What's Up With You, or particularly when it gets to really competitive races. Where would I go? I think there's a few races that you could look for What's Up With You, but I think the obvious one for me is this race here, the Howden Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle. It's a conditional jockeys race, so Callum could ride again, and being associated with the stable, he gets to take a very, very useful £10 off. So effectively would be running off a £1 lower mark, plus that 10 off, wouldn't have a lot of weight to carry, again, and then is also running at Ascot. Now, the horse has won at Ascot, if we go back far enough. On debut, was winning at Ascot, on debut over hurdles, beating Tornham Frayed. Now, Tornham Frayed is a better horse than probably what Tornham Frayed is currently rated 125 and 132 over hurdles, but has been as higher rated as 140 over fences. That was probably a very good effort to win at Ascot on debut, on stable debut, beating Tornham Frayed. And yes, it's got a disappointing run at Ascot to his name. And he was sixth. He was 6 of 7. That was over fences. Maybe he's just not a very good chaser. Well beaten that day by the likes of Nassalam and Solo, Kid Commando. You know, even then, looking at that, it's a better race than what he would be running in. They were rated 140, 135, 140, 132, 131. They were the horses that beat him. Better horses than what he would have to take on if he ran in this race here. You can see this is only for horses rated 0 to 130. So actually, all of those that beat him, I'm just going to check that, double check, 140, 135, 140, 132, 131, yeah, all of those wouldn't actually qualify for this race if it was the same horses and using this 0 to 130. So it would be an easier race. It wouldn't be over fences. It'd be over hurdles. The track does suit. The trip does suit. Probably wants this 2 mile 5 trip. And yeah, I think it was actually a very good race, conditional jockeys race that he ran in on Friday. So they are the horses to follow from the handicap analysis. A quick recap. Ginny's Destiny for the December Gold Cup. Much better second time out. Similarly, Fugitive back down to a handicap mark that he can win off. And I don't think he was ridden to get close in this one. Probably, you know, getting him ready to try and defend his December Gold Cup crown. Shan Bleu, I think, should go to Ascot. He's run twice at Ascot recently. He's finished third on both occasions. He's slightly lower in the handicap, and I thought that was a very good run considering how weak he was in the market. The Howden Silver Cup on the 21st of December would suit. West Balboa is one I'm waiting for over fences in a handicap. Over at least 2.5, probably 3. They're clearly getting this horse well handicapped before stepping up in trip to the right races. They could well be the Coral Trophy, winner of the Lanzarote Hurdle at the course, or go to Aintree at the end of the season. Probably both, to be honest. For this handicap, that they also had the favourite last year, King of Ryehope, who disappointed for them for the Skeltons. Maybe they'll come back this year with West Balboa and win it. And finally, what's up for you? Into a handicap, or stay in a handicap, but go to Ascot where he does have some form. Disappointed at Cheltenham again. He's finished 9th the last twice he's run there in that conditional jockeys race. That's probably not where he wants to be running. Ascot, I think, will definitely suit him.